This episode of One Hit Thunder is brought to you by DistroKid.
It's that time of year again. Everyone knows that the holidays can become overwhelming quickly, so the sooner that you get things done, the better. For both shoppers and businesses, the best time to score great deals during the holidays is Black Friday and Cyber Monday weekend. And that's why you need Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household names like Allbirds and Cowboy e-bikes to entrepreneurs who will be participating in their very first Black Friday or Cyber Monday this year. Shopify has everything you need to succeed from start to finish. First, Shopify's marketing tools help push your brand to the forefront of the chaos, no matter what platform your customers are on. Then, Shopify helps draw customers in with the ease of a convenient checkout with Shop Pay, Shopify's expedited checkout that saves customers information and reduces hassle. The best part? Shop Pay has been proven to boost conversions, meaning you see less abandoned carts and more profits. You can also stress less knowing that Shopify's award-winning customer support team is on standby 24/7 to help with any issues that arise, allowing you to get back to business as fast as possible. This Black Friday, join thousands of new entrepreneurs hearing for the first time with Shopify. Sign up for your free trial today at shopify.com/income. That's shopify.com/income. Go to shopify.com/income and make this Black Friday one to remember.
Hey everybody, today's guest is Vaden Todd Lewis, lead vocalist and guitarist for the Fort Worth, Texas alternative rock band, the Toadies. Together we take a deep dive into the writing, recording, and inspiration behind the smash hit single, Possum Kingdom, taken from their 1994 album, Rubberneck. The 90s were a wacky and weird time for music, and the Toadies fit in perfectly. Vaden agreed with that sentiment, going as far as to say that weird is what he was going for from a lyrical and musical standpoint. The track goes between some odd time signatures, and combined with the lyric and arrangement of the song, takes you on a cool little journey. Vaden mentioned that the song was recorded multiple times prior to this recording, and it was mostly an afterthought to him when Interscope brought it up that the band should re-record it for the album. It wasn't until he heard Andy Wallace's final mix that he knew they had made the right call. Oh, and you'll be as surprised as me to know that legions of goth kids were showing up to their shows when this song hit big, thinking the dark tone and imagery of the lyrics were speaking directly to them. For all this and a whole lot more, stick around.
Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast. Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast. Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast. Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast.
Vaden, how's it going?
Real good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Are you in Fort Worth?
I am. I'm at home.
Nice.
In my home studio.
I understand we were rapping a little bit before we got rolling here that you just got back from a 7.5-week tour with the Toadies. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. It went really well, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And was that your first tour since the pandemic? Have you played any shows prior to that? Or
we played a few shows here and there, but this tour was supposed to happen in 2020, and it kept getting booted, so we finally got to do it.
Right on. Well, we're going to talk about the song Possum Kingdom today, which was the second single from the Toadies album Rubberneck, released on August 23rd, 1994, and the single was released a week later on August 30th. And, you know, I was talking to my producer before the show, Vaden, about this song title, and the 90s were perfect for a title like this, Possum Kingdom. And I have to ask, did your A&R guy or anybody from the label say, hey, this is like potential single here, you know, can we call the song So Help Me Jesus or My Sweet Angel or something that, you know, is repeated in the song? Did anybody have a hang up about that?
You know, oddly enough, that was something they did not have a hang up about. Now that I think about it, that's like, why not? I mean, Possum Kingdom and a Tyler or two off the top of my head that there's no, I don't say that anywhere in the song.
Yeah,
that
right.
doesn't, what? You know, anyway, yeah, 90s, there you go.
My band ran into that a lot with our A&R guy back in the day. He wanted to kill us. He's like, what does this title have to do with the song? Like, no, we're going to send it to radio. No one's going to know what it means. It's like, yeah, but it's our art. We stand behind it. You know, that whole argument. So what is Possum Kingdom? I read it's a lake in North Texas near Fort Worth.
Yeah, I think it's the largest. I don't know. I don't stick to that. I don't know facts. It's a large lake here, North Texas. It's about 45 minutes or an hour, northeast of us here in Fort Worth, and northwest. I'm sorry, that'd be another one of the facts that I don't know. But anyway, it's a beautiful giant lake, and we would go there. My family had a little bit of land there, and we'd go in the summer times, and it was just full of creepy shit like Hell's Gate and Devil's Island and just, you know, awesome, you know?
Yeah. Awesome for a teenager exploring the woods in the area, right?
Yeah, totally.
Well, the band was formed in '89, and you guys released a few cassette self-releases and an EP titled Pleather before signing to Interscope. So take us back to that time period. Was Possum Kingdom on a demo that you guys had recorded? I searched for a demo online. I couldn't find one, but what attracted Interscope to the band?
That song, really.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean, they were not upfront about that because I think they knew me well enough to not go there, but yeah, we had demoed it on Pleather, and we'd already put it on. I think there was a little recording we did called "You're Cute." Had a silver foil cover, so you could look at yourself while you listened to it. We thought that was pretty funny. And by the time we got ready to do Rubberneck, they had to kind of wrestle me to put it on the record because I was kind of tired of it. I'd already recorded it twice.
I've been there before where I wrote some songs early on and a label head wanted us to record. There's something there. And by that time, you're like, you've already played it live for 4 years. You're kind of over it. But sounds like they made the right call here.
Yeah. You know how it works. If the label wants it and they get it, then they'll push it. And if they don't want it and they get it, they won't push it, you know? So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And how did you get hooked up with Tom Rothrock and Rob Schnapp to produce the record? Because, you know, these guys worked on Beck's Mellow Gold. They had a label called Bong Load Records, probably one of the best record label names ever.
Yeah.
And these guys really had no track record as far as I know, because, you know, Mellow Gold from Beck was released on March 1st of 94. You guys would have probably been recording the record around then. Were you aware of Beck by the time you guys were recording with these guys?
I'm not aware of Beck. No, I think it was actually 93 when we recorded with those guys. We had to sit on that record for almost a year. It sucked.
Oh, okay.
But there was another band that they produced called Wool, and they had an EP called Bud Spawn. Not an EP, a record called Bud Spawn, and it sounded the most like AC/DC of anything I'd heard, and that's what it sounded like a band in the room, and sounded kick-ass. So that's why we went with those guys.
On vacation, I bless. I can't change myself, oh no. Take a whole lot of medicine to change myself.
It's interesting you say that, because this recording, Possum Kingdom, sounds like a band in a room. They definitely captured that, and that's what I love about the vibe of this. And let's talk about the length of the song for a second. 5 minutes and 9 seconds. That's pretty long, you know. And as I listened through it, I'm like, no, all these parts work perfectly. The way the song ebbs and flows. Was there ever discussion again from Interscope? Hey, this song, we got to trim some fat here, and I'm sure there was a radio edit too.
Yeah, they came at us about wanting our input to me for a radio edit, and I just said no, because I was just that stupid. And they, of course, went ahead and did one. They just didn't tell me about it. Probably for the best.
Yeah.
But, I was pretty pig-headed back then, and my take on this whole thing, this whole career was, well, it's not a career. My career is working at the record store back at home. and I'll do this little record, and I'll get to make the record I want, and it'll cost just a ton of money, and then the label will get fed up with me, and they'll drop me, and that'll be it. It'll be a great record, and they'll have to send me on a couple of tours at least, so I'll get to see the States and maybe beyond, and that'll be a great year and a half or 2 years, and then, here we are almost 30 years later.
You set the bar pretty low there, I guess, to avoid disappointment, if nothing else.
But pretty much, yeah. It tells you a little bit about self-esteem right there. But I did get the record I wanted, and I guess part of that attitude helped me just really stay at it. Like, can we do like 2 more passes on the vocals to get this smooth overdub? And like, no, we cannot.
Well, now, did anybody at Interscope have any suggestions about producers? And when you brought them, Tom and Rob, were they like, okay, cool?
Yeah, there were several producers. Their names escape me right now, but we flew out and talked to several people in San Francisco and Los Angeles. And all the while, they being the label, wanted a bigger name to mix it.
Right, and that's where Andy Wallace came in.
Yeah. And again, you know how this shit works, so it's like, what I heard filtering through was these guys don't cost enough, so they can't be that good. That's major label logic.
It's ludicrous because, as you know, someone has to get their start somewhere.
Yeah,
Bob Rock, any of these guys, they had to get their start somewhere.
But I did get to work with Andy Wallace, and that was just kick ass. I get to sit in the studio and watch that guy work.
How was that experience? I've had a couple people that have been on the show that have talked about getting to hang out with him and kind of peek over his shoulder, said it was outstanding.
Yeah, he's just a cool guy, and it was just a really cool experience, That was the first time I'd been in New York for more than a day, and I took, 2 weeks in Manhattan and walking around and popping in twice a day to see how the mix is going, and, can't beat it.
That's awesome. Well, again, the band formed in 89. The record came out in 94. So when was Possum Kingdom written? Do you recall?
Oh, geez. That would have been probably 90.
No kidding.
Yeah, probably 90, 91.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, you've been playing this at your live shows. And what was the reaction from audiences at that point before it became a huge hit for you guys?
I couldn't tell you. It's like... early on, we just played to like 80 or 90 people at home, Okay. And it was like, and they were there, but it was all of our community. It was like the musicians and their dates and a few people that are just huge live music fans, and some of which I still know. And it's very supportive and cool.
I guess what I was getting at, did you guys, was this song on your radar, or did any of those 80 or 90 friends ever say to you, hey, this song, there's something about it, something special, or was it Interscope that finally said, this is the one?
I think it would be Interscope, yeah. Yeah, I mean, live, before Rubberneck, we had a song that I thought was going to be the shit, and it was going to be, it was called, I Hope You Die. Then I got the understanding that Possum Kingdom was going to be a thing, and I'm like, I don't want that vibe too much on the record. So, yeah, Do You Want to Die and I Hope You Die, I don't think I'm going to do that. So, which is a good call because the other song is just kind of silly and, what do you want?
Gotcha. Well, we're going to jump into the track now. Again, the song's 5 minutes and 9 seconds, and the intro has a guitar panned hard right, and the riff goes through one cycle before verse 1 begins. And, this song has such a quirky feel. It alternates between like that 7/4 and 4/4 time signature, and it's just the way the parts are constructed and the way that the arrangement is, it's one of the oddest songs, but the coolest, oddest song. It's just so different. And I remember hearing this on the radio back in the day, and I just always thought like, gosh, nothing sounds like that. And diving into it the past couple days and listening to it however many times I have, 40 times, it's just, as I'm analyzing it, it's just so, so cool. It's such a great arrangement.
Thanks, man.
Make up your mind. Decide to walk with around the lake tonight, around the lake tonight, by my side. By my side.
Make up your mind. Decide to walk with me. Around the lake tonight. Around the lake tonight. By my side. By my side. That's what I'm considering verse 1. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so I had a dream. This is going to be a little bit of a... take a walk with me, will you?
I would love to. I would love to.
I had a dream when I was around this time, 90 or so, and I was dating this girl, and she was just a mess. And so was I. and I had a dream that I was going to a party that she invited me to, and when I get to the party is everybody getting hammered and lighting themselves on fire and self-immolation. That was what the party was for, right? And it was like I woke up and I went, I need to break up with this woman immediately.
I would say so.
Message received. So I wrote I Burn. That's what I Burn is written about, that dream.
Through the ages, we got stupid. Now we must repent. And I burn. I burn.
And so the idea that somebody would lure somebody into a situation that would create that kind of chaos and that kind of negative effect. And so I wrote I Burn, and I'm like, oh, that's just creepy and fucked up, and I like it. And then I'm thinking, well, what if it worked? You know, what if the idea of self-immolation to achieve a higher consciousness, what if that worked? Then what would this guy do? He's smoke. And so now he's going to, well, I would go try to find somebody to join me because now I'm all alone. I'm just smoke. And so that's what I wrote Possum Kingdom about. This guy now, he's just a spirit, disembodied spirit who is trying to lure this young lady to join him.
Okay. The first 4 lines, it's just that intro guitar panned off right and vocals. There's a really cool pre-delay on that vocal, which is panned pretty hard left, the pre-delay, and the vocals even panned slightly left. Was that an Andy Wallace thing in the mix, or was that something that Rob and Tom created in the studio? Do you recall?
As far as the alignment, like panning, I'm not sure who made that call, but it was Tom and Rob. That was back in the day, so we took the 16-inch master. They took the 16-inch master, or 32-track master, and whatever. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. They took it off and turned it upside down. And then recorded a delay and then flipped it back, and then we had to go through all the channels to find out where it landed because everything reversed.
That's so cool. And for the listeners out there, what Vaden's talking about, we could do with a push of a couple buttons now, but this is old school analog. You weren't recording to Pro Tools. They were going to tape. So any effect like that either had to be done how you just explained it, or the mixer would put effects on it later. But it sounds like you went to tape with that effect, which is awesome.
Yeah. We were right there, and I told them what I wanted, and we had done this on the demo before also, and with a very fewer tracks because of the budget, but it was actually kind of a fun half a day of just messing with that delay and getting in the right spot and the right length and everything.
That's awesome. Now, you've been playing the song live. It had been around for some time. Do you recall anything changing about the arrangement, lyrics, or anything when you got in to finally do this recording?
No, not that I recall. I mean, it was pretty laid out, and I was, like I mentioned, I was kind of over it. So it's like, well, this is what it is.
Yeah, this is the song, so I'm not going to overthink it at that point.
Yeah, and Tom and Rob also were really good about editing. Like Tyler, when I wrote that, I brought it in, and it was another epic journey. And there was a whole section in the middle that just we didn't need. And I kind of fought with them at first, and then we practiced it that way in the studio. And I'm like, oh well, I see what you're saying now. So works way better. But yeah, so they would have mentioned, I think, if they thought it needed to be, any fat needed to be trimmed.
Fair enough. Well, around the lake tonight at that lyric, drums, bass, and another guitar. A guitar comes in right there. It almost sounds like there's a tube screamer on that guitar playing that signature riff panned off left.
Around the lake tonight by my side.
Yeah, that was Daryl at the time. He was on that record. And we went through tons of different ideas. We ran it through a Leslie at one point.
Oh, wow.
Just a bunch of things. So I'm not sure where he landed. They also, Tom and Rob also had just an army of homemade amps and just weird. The Bastard, I think, was one of them. They all had cool names.
So you're telling me the guys from Bong Load Records had weird effects and weird amps? That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that I'm calling it the signature hook, the signature riff of the song, panned off left. And then there's a musical interlude. And this instrumental part cycles through 4 times. Halfway through, you get another vocal of that lyric, by my side. And at the very end there, on that guitar, I'm calling it the UFO sound. It's awesome.
Right, yeah, yeah.
It is so cool. And I talk about that so many times on this show, those little hooks within a song. You know, you don't think much about them as you're laying them down, but that is just integral to this song. If it wasn't there, it wouldn't be the same song. The next part is a double pre-chorus.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll not be a gentleman behind the boathouse. I'll show you my dark secret. I'm not gonna lie, I want you for mine, my blushing bride, my lover, be my lover, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll not be a gentleman. Behind the boathouse, I'll show you my dark secret. I'm not gonna lie, I want you for mine. My blushing bride, my lover, be my lover, yeah.
Yeah, it was just that sinister kind of, truth-telling from the character.
Again, this song had been around for a while. When you initially wrote it and you put these lyrics down, do you do a lot of self-editing, or you just put something down and you just go with it? Because these are just so abstract and just, I'll use the word weird, but great.
Well, weird is a lot of what I was going for, and always have been. I came up on classic rock and whatnot because that's all you could get in Fort Worth. And then I heard the Talking Heads and the Pixies within about a year of each other, and that just blew my mind. And like the just the overall weirdness of the music and the weirdness of the lyrics, and so that kind of paired that weirdness together with my at the time love of horror novels and Stephen King and all. I've got the Evil Dead poster behind me.
Yeah, I see it.
So yeah, I love that stuff, and that's always kind of in the back of my mind.
Yeah, well, early 90s, and again, I think all the 90s, but early 90s were a time for weird, and I relished in it. The weirder, the better. Some of my favorite bands were very out there. Well, this is, again, a double pre-chorus with drums, bass, and that guitar panned off right. It's kind of broken down here. Halfway through on I'll Show You My Dark Secret, there's another musical interlude 2 times with that signature guitar lick, again, panned off left, and it does this cool dive bomb this time. Now, before we get in to the second half of pre-chorus 1, the vocals on the second half go up an octave. I love the intensity there. And a guitar panned off left comes in playing the rhythm guitar along with the right. So now we have stereo guitars coming in the song for the first time. And the bass is doing a really great circular, like walking bass part. It's awesome. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I wanted the bass and the drums to hold it all together from that herky-jerky 7/4 stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And, it's funny, as a kid, I found myself zoning in on the bass a lot. I'm not a bass player, but I was always fascinated by it. You listen to songs like, first one that comes to mind is like Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Just if you just listen to the bass line, it could be its own song. It communicates, and this bass part communicates with me like that. It's its own thing. If you just zone in on that, it's really cool.
Well, right on. Thanks, man. Yeah, I think this is pretty common knowledge, but I wrote all that stuff, and like I really wanted the bass to fit underneath these chords a certain way, and like to bring out certain notes that you don't ordinarily hear from a bass player, like that on the turnaround. That's such a weird seventh type descending. So I just really wanted all that stuff to be called out.
Well, I got a lot of questions as we comb through this, because there's a lot of stuff I'm scratching my head going, why? But they're great whys. They're like, why did you do it? This part was here then, it's not there now. What made you decide that? And I love to get inside people's minds and see what makes them tick. Well, the next part, I'm calling chorus 1. Don't be afraid. I didn't mean to scare you. So help me, Jesus.
I think at this point, like I said, I'm writing from a character standpoint, like a Stephen King thing. And I thought, well, that's coming on a little strong, a little heavy on the first verse. So maybe I need to back off a little bit and make it a little nicer. The character, not me, but if that makes any freaking sense at all.
Well, it does make sense. The strumming pattern here changes. It's like this cool ascending riff, and the stereo guitars and bass are playing that descending riff together there. And the bass is playing some really unique note choices in this part. They're just kind of up on, past the 12th fret or something, doing some really cool high stuff and just odd notes that are happening there, which is just great.
Yeah, right on. Thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to construct,
Well, it's a lot of fun for me. I did an interview the other day, and the guy asked me, he said, so have you learned, stuff from doing this songwriting podcast? Because I'm going on 3 years now with doing the show. I've done, 140 episodes or whatever. I said, I learn stuff every time I do one of these. It's been fantastic. You get to a point sometimes where you plateau as a songwriter, or you get complacent. And just this song, I wouldn't even know where to begin to try to write a song like this. And I mean that with the utmost sincerity. It's just so, like, my brain doesn't work like this. It's fascinating to me. And again, some of those note choices there are really awesome. Well, after chorus 1, we get a 2-bar reintro. At the end, the guitar panned off left does that UFO sound again right before verse 2. I can promise you, you will stay as beautiful with dark hair and soft skin forever. Forever.
Yeah, that's just promising to preserve this person, and which, is a lie. But that was what that was about.
Hey everybody, we'll be right back with lots more with Vaden after a few words from our sponsors. Hey there, One Hit Thunder listeners. Are you ready to take your music to the next level? Well, get ready to rock because this episode is brought to you by DistroKid, the ultimate digital music distribution service for artists like you. With DistroKid, you can easily upload your songs or albums to online stores and streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music, reaching fans all around the globe. But that's just the beginning. DistroKid offers a ton of awesome features like Hyperfollow, which helps you promote your releases and get pre-saves on your songs, all for free. But wait, there's more. The DistroKid app is now available on iOS and Android. With the app, you can manage your releases, track your streaming stats, and even withdraw your earnings, all from the palm of your hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. This powerful tool allows you to put the finishing touches on your tracks in minutes, ensuring they sound polished and professional every time. But that's not all. DistroKid has just launched a brand new feature called Instant Share, allowing you to easily share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more. With Instant Share, you can keep your music streaming at the highest quality while making the best impression possible. So what are you waiting for? Elevate your music career today with DistroKid and unlock a world of possibilities. Possibilities that I know all about because I've been using DistroKid for years. It's seriously great. If you haven't used it before, you're going to love it. And One Hit Thunder listeners get an exclusive offer, 30% off your first year with DistroKid by signing up at distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder. That's distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder.
Extra value meals are back. That means 10 tender, juicy McNuggets and medium fries and a drink are just $8. Only at McDonald's.
For limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast? Smart move. Being financially savvy? Smart move. Another smart move? Having State Farm help you create a competitive price when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu? Is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey with American Express Business Platinum. Earn 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. Plus, enjoy a welcome offer of 200,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
Meet the computer you can talk to. With Copilot on Windows, working, creating, and collaborating is as easy as talking. Got writer's block? Share your screen with Copilot Vision to help spark inspiration, and use Copilot Voice to have a conversation and brainstorm ideas. Or maybe you need some tech help. With Copilot Vision, Copilot sees what you see. Let Copilot talk you through step-by-step guidance so you can master new apps, games, and skills faster. Try now at windows.com/Copilot.
And now, back to the show.
Did anybody ever ask you if this was like about a love interest or if it was a love song? I didn't take it as that. I'm like, there's something more to this than, but you could look at this, My Sweet Angel and things like that. Did anybody ever take that away from the lyrics?
I'm sure I got that at some point. Mostly I got, is this a vampire song?
Really?
Yeah, that was the number one question.
No kidding. I don't really pick up on a goth vibe here.
Yeah, me neither. But speaking of which, when the single hit, we were on tour and we went through Florida and there was just an army of goth kids, full regalia, like for us.
Really?
Who were very disappointed in the rest of the set.
Well, I'm from Florida. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall at some of those shows to see that, because the goth kids were alive and well in the 90s. I can attest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, right around forever on this verse, the stereo guitars come in, but no signature guitar lick panned off left. And that's my question. Why not there? Why didn't that come in?
We had already drilled it home pretty good, and I wanted to, A, make sure I didn't overuse it, and B, I kind of like it when you expect to hear something and it's not there, and you almost, you kind of hear it anyway.
Right. Well, again, I've heard this song I don't know how many times, since 94, but putting it under the microscope, I had to listen to this part like 3 or 4 times. I kept rewinding it going, why does this sound weird? And finally it jumped out, the lick's not there. You'd think it would hit me over the head, like it would be obvious, the lick's not there, but I couldn't figure out why this was making me feel different. And finally it dawned on me, the lick's not there.
One thing I've kind of stumbled onto with this band or pulled out of the music that I've listened to my whole life is I kind of dig it whenever a band just goes into a groove and just kind of sits in it for a little bit, and nobody is trying to show off. It's like we're all doing the same. We're all on the same page. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you want to talk about getting into a groove later in the song, you get into a groove. And I mean, you guys are it's almost like, and I was never into, I guess the word would be jam bands. It was never really my thing, of a band that'll go off and play, 128 bars for, and bore people. But that's not what that's not what I get here. Again, I think that you guys get locked in this zone, and this whole thing just takes you on a ride. Well, pre-chorus 2 comes in here, and those stereo guitars continue through this part.
Make up your mind. Make up your mind, and I'll promise you.
Make up your mind. Make up your mind, and I'll promise you. And on the first Make Up Your Mind, that's sung in a low register, and the last 2 are up an octave there.
Yeah.
Is that how you had been singing it for the longest time, or was that something?
Yeah.
Yeah? I love that.
Probably a lot of that came from just these crappy sound systems and these little clubs we'd play at. And if I didn't get louder when the band got louder, I was just gone.
I can relate to that 1,000%. That's amazing, because especially in the days when we didn't have our own sound guys, right?
Yep.
Absolute nightmare. Well, I love that. I love that the first line is you're just kind of melancholy, kind of the vibe you've been giving, and then it just goes up there, which is really cool. Then we get into chorus 2. I will treat you well, my sweet angel, so help me Jesus. And on this chorus, we don't get any harmonies in this song, but on this chorus, on the first 2 lines, there's double vocals there. They're in unison. That comes on those 2 lines only. Why there?
That would be a Tom and Rob question, because seriously, I didn't want any doubling. I didn't want any overdubs. I wanted live, like a live band. And, at the time, I didn't realize that all of my favorite songs had all that stuff that I was trying not to do. Because I'd never been in a professional, big recording studio. So yeah, they would have, after about the second day of having to deal with me, they would do things like, all right, well, I think we can beat the take. And they would have me do it again. And that was secretly the overdub. And it's like, So, and I'm glad they did it, but they used it to great effect too,
Yeah, it's the old producer trick, right? Hey, this time, can you just kind of go up on those last 3 words just so we have it? I'm like, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's going to make the record. Don't lie to me,
Yeah.
Well, also on chorus 2 here, we got a lyric change. Was there any talk of, hey, maybe we should keep this the same because it's the chorus hook, or no, it's just going to be different?
I don't recall any talk about that, but I do. We haven't gotten there yet. But I bring that first one back, I believe, at the, but part of me was aware that repetition is a good thing.
Right. And of course we get the So Help Me Jesus, which is just an epic hook. And the way you sing that is just, is great. After chorus 2, we go into a 2-bar buildup, and it's a very subtle, melancholy, hey, kind of, yeah, where you trail off there. And we get into the bridge here.
Jesus.
Give it up to me. Give it up to me. Do you want to be my angel? And that is said 3 times. And at the very last time, you get a so help me, like this plea. You can just kind of feel the aggression there. The first 2 times this goes through, the guitar on the right is playful, but the guitar left is playing 8th notes with the bass. So the whole feel changes there. It's great.
My guitar is the backbeat, the chugs.
Yeah.
And and I like just how they play off of each other, so when they sync up, it's that much more impactful. And also there's, I pulled out of the, back to the time signatures changes, there's 2 bars of 6 and then 2 bars of 4, if you count out those, the turnarounds.
It was starting to drive me batty. It's odd. It's odd. The chords are odd with it. The whole thing kind of just does this push and pull as I'm listening to it. And this part in particular, you know, if you were going to achieve that live band sound, I closed my eyes last night and I'm listening to it and I'm going, I feel like I'm in the room with you guys. Like if I have a good pair of headphones on and I'm kind of muffled a little bit, but I'm in the room with you. And
cool.
The drums in particular, just like there's a lot of space, but they're not like big and boomy like 80s reverb. They got their space, but they sound big, but they're still tight. It's a cool mix.
Yeah. We had we did this at Philo's Ranch, which I believe is gone now, but it was up in Mendocino County, and it was modeled after a famous studio that I should know the name of, but I do not. But fantastic room sounds, and they just, like Tom and Rob just had that place tricked out with, you know, especially for the drums, just mics everywhere.
It's such a cool sound. I'd written in my notes that this part is sludgy. The adjective that came to mind. It just got this. It's like heavy. It's like full. The third time around of the give it up to me, do you want to be my angel? That guitar panned off to the left starts strumming the rhythm with the guitar on the right, and the vocals go up an octave here. So it just gets a little more urgent there at the end. On So Help Me, the drums play for 4 bars while the guitars ring out. Guitar left is doing some cool whammy bar like feedback, and then the bass and the guitar panned off right are playing that walking bass part again for 2 times before we get into what I'm calling verse 3. Part is just such a trip. Like, again, I feel like I'm in the room with you guys there. It's really cool.
It's just a fun part to get to.
When you were doing this and tracking this, you know, and I'm assuming at least 3 of you were in the room, bass, drums, guitar, tracking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recall like what take this was?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Geez, couldn't tell you. But yeah, we would do the initial tracking. You know, everything was isolated, and we would do the initial throw.
I guess what I'm asking, you guys had played this song for so much, did you have to labor over this one? Because you know as well as I do, you get in the studio sometimes, especially when you got a different set of eyes like Tom and Rob on it. Yeah, you had already recorded it, but now they're like, well, wait a second. What if we brought the click back a little bit? Or what if we did this? And did you record this to a click?
This was, I believe, recorded to a click, yes.
Okay.
But it's a very forgiving click, and I believe they would like just pull it out whenever they needed to, because, you know, we didn't want to sound sterile. But as far as laboring over it, no. I mean, over the drums, man, Mark Rezacek, our drummer, he's just one take Jake. It's insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely, it's definitely a tight performance. Don't get me wrong, but I feel some breathing. I feel some push and pull here, slightly. Just like it just kind of takes you on a ride. It's not stiff by any means. It's not on some crazy grid.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the lyric for verse 3 is just "Be my angel." 3 times. That cool pre-delay on the vocals comes back. The band is still broke down, continuing that walking bass riff with the guitar panned left, which is feeding back into pre-chorus 3. And I've read, you know, a number of lyrics. Where's the song going lyrically at this point?
I think I'm just trying to get it to, well, I know, to tear it all down and layer back on and keep layering on until we just bring it home.
Want to die. I promise you, it's just those 2 lyrics. The "Do you want to die" is 4 times. The pre-delay again is on that vocals. I keep bringing up that pre-delay thing because it's so cool. It's just it's haunting. You know, I guess that's one for the goth kids. That haunting part there. The guitar right gets way more playful here, and the guitar pan left is still feeding back through this whole part. "Do you want to die" happens 4 more times, and the stereo guitars come back in, and the band just gets really loud, kind of builds to this crescendo, and then you hit chorus 3. And we bring back the lyric from chorus 2 for chorus 3 here. "I will treat you well, my sweet angel. So help me, Jesus." And we get 3 more Jesuses after that. On the first 2 lines, the double unison vocals come in just for those 2 lines that happened the time previous. No other harmonies in the song. I gotta say that Tom and Rob, in my opinion, made the right call. There's something really cool about that, especially when you come back by yourself and say, "So help me, Jesus." It brings it personal again.
Yeah, it makes it come right up front. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's very cool. And then we get you're kind of sputtering out the whole band, even the kind of the delivery of the vocal, Jesus. It's kind of like it's labored here at the end almost. And the band retards all together, and the song just comes to an end. Take us back now to you're hearing these mixes. You said you were with Andy Wallace, and this comes back at you. You know, you had already recorded it, and you know, you kind of, at this point, it's almost an afterthought. It's like, fine, the label wants us to record it. What did you think about this recording coming back?
Oh, man. I was glad that I did it and didn't stick to my guns. it's night and day going into a studio and saving up all your money and getting to spend 6 hours to do 6 songs, as opposed to untold hundreds of thousands of dollars in a real studio with real producers. It's just night and day the way it sounds. It's just great.
And one last thing. What was that like? You guys weren't upstarts. I mean, you had been around for a number of years. You've been hitting all the clubs and doing that whole grind. And all of a sudden, this song gets picked up on commercial radio. It was all over the place in 94 and 95. That had to be incredible.
Yeah, it was. It actually took a little bit for it to take off. We went on the first 2 tours were van tours, opening up for punk bands because they didn't know what to do with us. So we got spat on a lot. And then we started opening for Bush, another van tour. And it was during that tour that this song started to catch on. So we were already, a year in on, just being on the road constantly. So, but it was pretty cool. I mean, we started opening for Bush, and then we moved up to a bus. And then gradually the venues got larger, and you know how it goes. And at some point we're like, hey, this is starting to work,
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, again, you guys have never stopped. You just got back on a 7.5-week tour, and you have 7 albums total. The most recent being The Lower Side of Uptown, released in 2017. So congratulations, man. You've had one heck of a career. And if there's anything else you'd like to leave the listeners right now, what's coming up with you and the band, now'd be the time to do it.
Yeah, man. Well, we used this tour to work on material that I'd been writing over the last forever. It seems like forever since the lockdown and everything. So, those have gone over really well, and we've got a good handful of songs saved up. The plan is to go in next year to record a new album, and if he's available and we're available at the same time, we're hoping to work with Steve Albini on this one.
Oh, that'd be killer. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Always wanted to, yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for sitting in with us today, Vaden. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed that episode with Vaden Todd Lewis. We got to take a quick break for a word from our sponsors, but don't go anywhere. We got lots more Chris DeMakes a Podcast coming up.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS.
Monster Energy. Everybody knows White Monster, Zero Ultra. That's the OG. It kicked off this whole zero sugar energy drink thing. But Ultra is a whole lineup now. You've got Strawberry Dreams, Blue Hawaiian, Sunrise, and Vice Guava. And they all bring the Monster Energy punch. So if you've been living in the white can, branch out. Ultra's got a flavor for every vibe. And every single one is zero sugar. Tap the banner to learn more.
Toast the holidays in a new way and raise a glass of rum chata. A delicious creamy blend of horchata with rum. Enjoy it over ice or in your coffee. Rum chata, your holiday cocktails just got sweeter. Tap or click the banner for more. Drink responsibly. Caribbean rum with real dairy cream, natural and artificial flavors. Alcohol 13.75% by volume, 27.5 proof. Copyright 2025 Agave Logo Brands, Pewaukee, Wisconsin. All rights reserved.
So good, so good, so good.
Give big, save big with Rack Friday deals at Nordstrom Rack. For a limited time, take an extra 40% off red tag clearance for a total savings up to 75% off. Save on gifts for everyone on your list from brands like Vince, Cole Haan, Sam Edelman, and more. All sales final and restrictions apply. The best stuff goes fast, so bring your gift list and your wish list to your nearest Nordstrom Rack today.
When you walk into a Burlington, you're walking into amazing prices and great gifts. That's main character energy.
Because at Burlington, the holiday savings aren't the only things turning heads. Discover quality finds and perfect presents for everyone on your list, even those who are hard to shop for. Toys and jewelry to new beauty brands and styles, these gifts go seamlessly from our stores to under your tree. Seriously, with these savings, why shop anywhere else?
Burlington deals, brands, wow.
Wayfair's big sale is returning. Get ready for Way Day. For 4 days only, score up to 80% off all things home with free shipping on everything. From October 26th through 29th, score Wayfair's best deals, like up to 80% off area rugs, up to 60% off mattresses, up to 60% off bedroom furniture, and more exclusive doorbuster deals. So mark your calendar and shop Way Day starting October 26th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
As we near the end of the show, here's a band you might not know.
Welcome to this week's Band You Might Not Know. If you'd like your band to be considered for Chris DeMakes a Podcast, all you have to do is email your best song via MP3 only and a short bio to bandyoumightnotknow@gmail.com. This week's featured artist is the Upfucks, a ska punk band from Asbury Park, New Jersey. They just released a full-length album on Bad Time Records called Coastal Collapse. Here's a snippet of their song, Drowning.
When everybody looks frustrated, then it's time to break. I'll sing this over my own sake. Oh, I can't wait to drown it all. So sorry, not so sorry. Not this I'll never get everybody. I'm feeling nauseous, yeah, I'm still sick. It doesn't matter, it'll pass with the bullshit. Once I throw it all up, I just override.
The Wrap with Chris and Chris.
Chris, listeners of the podcast have wanted a Toadies episode for a long time. I told Vaden that. I'm glad we could finally make it happen, and I think it was worth the wait. I think he was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm really glad that he agreed with weird as one of my word choices to describe this song. What a weird song to make it onto pop radio.
Dude, to be a hit rock song, there's so many interesting things between the feel of the song and the time signature stuff, the lyrics, the chord choices. It definitely feels exactly like you're at a creepy lake. You know, that's the only way I could explain it. And I thought it was really funny that he said that it was a hit among goth people who started showing up to the shows, but then they're like, oh, the rest of these songs aren't, necessarily like this. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, and I've often wondered, I've said it many times, and we haven't seen it too much on the show, surprisingly, that did someone just pick up a pen and write a song that didn't really mean anything? And yeah, I mean, the Possum Kingdom Lake was kind of the inspiration behind this. He would go there as a kid, but, I was kind of prying him a couple of times about lyrics, and he just kind of was like, yeah, that's just there wasn't much here, but there doesn't need to be. He was going for weird, and it's definitely weird.
This was kind of touched on this a little bit. This was kind of a sequel to a song.
Yeah,
it was a sequel to another song, and it was about self-immolation. And once you're this ghost that's burnt, trying to convince someone else to do that too. I mean, it's definitely never, I don't think there's ever been another song with that subject matter, so just that in itself, knowing it's about that, is cool enough, and everything just kind of contributes to that feel. I thought it was pretty funny, and you kind of called him out on this, how low he set the bar for releasing an album on a major label. He's like, yeah, this is an awesome way for me. This is my chance to make the record I want to make, and kind of like whatever happens, happens. I feel like most people would be like, okay, well, I got to take advantage of this opportunity, and I got to make sure that I do all the right things. It was kind of like, no, I'm going to make the album I want to make, and, I'll have my moment for a year and a half or 2 years, and here we are, whatever, how many years later, 30 years later or whatever it's been since this song, talking about this song.
Yeah.
And I think that really speaks to going into a project not thinking about, like, is the radio going to like this song? Is the whatever? And just making your art, making your art the way you want to make it. I think that's pretty inspiring.
Yeah, I told him he was setting himself up to not be disappointed, which basically a good way to take it. You were speaking of the song I Burn he was referencing, which, yeah, he said it was a story about cult members immolating themselves to ascend to a higher plane. It's just such a trip. Describing Possum Lake. I used to go to this lake in Michigan that was, I don't know if it was as creepy as this, but there's always stories of the woods and the lake that are kind of creepy in and of themselves. But the fact that he said goth kids gravitated towards this song was pretty funny.
It makes sense. It makes sense that people that, like, he brought up being inspired by Stephen King and like the Evil Dead movies and stuff, and now that makes sense. It makes sense that people would be into horror movies and goth music. And, how many Less Than Jake songs are there about burning yourself to ascend to a higher plane? Probably not that many, I would assume.
Well,
right?
there's actually one, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes, there's a song on our GNV FLA record called Malachi Richter's Liquor is Quicker. And Malachi Richter was somebody, I believe he was protesting... was it 9/11 or something, or thought there was a conspiracy? He set himself on fire.
Wow.
So yeah, we did have a song about self-immolation, but it didn't take it the take of what this song did.
Stand back, 'cause it's a fact I've got a match and all my fingers crossed behind my back. Give me some breathing room, 'cause I'm breathing fumes out like them fuse. Give me some breathing room, 'cause there's something that I need to prove. Give me some breathing room, 'cause I'm breathing fumes out like the fuse, and I'm gonna make the evening news.
This track, and I don't know, did you ever have any Punchline songs that you re-recorded, and did someone want you to re-record them? Because Less Than Jake, as you know, had a number of songs that we re-recorded. Johnny Quest, Jen Doesn't Like Me Anymore, Look What Happened, and a couple others. And by the time you record it for the third time, it is kind of an afterthought. And even Vaden said it. He's just like, yeah, the label wanted us to record. It's like, whatever, we're gonna go in and record it. It wasn't until he heard that mix come back from Andy Walsh, he's like, okay, we got something here.
Right. Yeah. There's a song, an old Punchline song, kind of a popular one for us among our fans, called Heart Transplant, that we had recorded, like he said, we had recorded on a shoestring budget, self-financed. And then once we signed to Fueled by Ramen, now we had a budget. We were in a real studio with a producer and re-recorded it. But of course, Chris, as you know, the diehards are going to be like, I like the old version better. Like that's always going to be a thing, even if it's dramatically better. I wonder if he experienced that at all. Like, oh, we like the old version better. I highly doubt it with how good this song sounds, but I'm sure there were a few.
Yeah, and it's funny that we talked about the title a little bit. I'm surprised no one at the label said something about, you want to name the single Possum Kingdom? And at least name it So Help Me Jesus or something, because that was a huge thing. You wanted it to connect with the radio listeners. Art from Everclear recently said, it's his A&R guy said, it doesn't say Santa Monica anywhere in the song. Right. Like, why do you want to call it Santa Monica? He's like, that's the name of the song. We're running with it,
That was a very popular thing to do in our world, like in the punk rock world, to name a song you don't say the title of the song, like which it benefits you for SEO purposes, for people being able to search for it if they know the name of it, instead of like naming something that's been that, like, this song's called Stop, and that there's like 5,000 songs named that. But anyway, hey, couple things I thought were funny I wanted to mention. One, and I think we've talked about this a few times, he brought up how when you're playing the small punk rock venues or whatever you're playing with the crappy sound systems, that you have to sing in that higher octave for people to even hear. To try to sing in a lower octave in a bad sound system, people aren't going to hear the vocals whatsoever. They have a hard enough time hearing them when you are singing in a higher octave, I remember what episode, when Jamie Wolford from the Stereo was on, he talked about that, having to sing loud enough and high enough that people can actually hear the vocals. I thought that was funny that he mentioned that. And I also thought it was funny that he talked about how the producers kind of tricked him into doing doubles, you know?
Yep. Just do it again, just so we can hear it. It's going to end up on the final recording. I've been down that road before, which I could totally relate to that. It's awesome.
Right. And hey, something I wanted to mention for sure, because I know I've had several friends say this to me about how they acquired the Toadies album. In the 90s and in the 80s and before, there were a couple things known as BMG and Columbia House. These were these sort of scammy type things where you would get like 11 CDs for a penny, but then you were enrolled into a like monthly charge or something. I was never allowed to do it. I never went and did it. But I had lots of friends who like took advantage of that and got the CDs, and Toadies album was always on there. And so many people, I mean, I wonder if that still existed. Do you remember if you guys were ever on one of those?
We were. Losing Streak definitely was. I remember Losing Streak was on that. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, what another weird way for people to discover music is like, well, I got to get 11 albums. This is one of the 20 rock albums on here, even if you weren't that familiar with it. And that was at a time where if you got an album, it wasn't like you're just going to toss it aside. You're going to actually give it a chance because you own it. You don't have all the songs in the world at your fingertips. And I'm not saying that, I'm sure that being on MTV and having this big hit was a big part of it, but it probably couldn't hurt that lots of people were getting your album through one of these things like this. I can't believe it took us this long to talk about that.
Well, I'll tell you, another weird way to acquire something is by going to our after party, Chris, and you can hear us talk more.
It's not that weird. You just have to go to ChrisDeMakes.com and sign up. You got to sign up for the Chris DeMakes, a podcast supporting cast at ChrisDeMakes.com. Yes, you'll get a weekly bonus episode of our other podcast called The After Party. There's a giant back catalog of it. All the episodes are fun. 100% of them are fun, I will promise. And on top of that, for a few bucks a month, you're supporting Chris DeMakes a podcast. You keep getting amazing episodes like today's with Vaden Todd Lewis of the Toadies. You guys have been asking for a Toadies episode forever, and we came through. Vaden came through, but hey, we tracked him down and got him to come on, right? So we're gonna do our best to keep bringing you the best episodes possible as we continue here.
That's right. We do our best to deliver. If you haven't already, please join the Chris DeMakes a Podcast Facebook group. It is awesome. It's a lot of fun. We get in crazy discussions, and please, if you're not already, please join, become a member. It's a lot of fun. Please give me a follow on Instagram at @LessThanChrisD. I'd appreciate that too. And I want to thank this week's guest, Vaden Todd Lewis, for sitting in with us. And we'll see you next week.
Experience the sequel everyone's been waiting for. Follow Drayton and Dallas as they navigate the challenges of college life while trying to stay true to both themselves and each other. Sideline 2 Intercepted, starring Noah Beck and Sienna Agudong, is streaming now for free, only on Tubi.
Rinse takes your laundry and hand-delivers it to your door, expertly cleaned and folded. So you could take the time once spent folding and sorting and waiting to finally pursue a whole new version of you. Like Tea Time You. Or this Tea Time You. Or even this Tea Time You.
So did you hear about Dave?
Or even Tea Time You.
So update on Dave.
It's up to you. We'll take the laundry. Rinse. It's time to be great.